Hi, I'm Sarah and I'm from Rising Above Cancer. I want to share something very deep and personal with you today, and that's a letter, and it's a letter that I wrote to Cancer. I wrote this some time ago actually. I just didn't feel quite ready in some way to actually quite part with it yet, because that's part of the letting go. It's one of the things that I teach within my coaching practice, is how to let go. One of the things that I can often work with people is to suggest writing a letter to Cancer as part of a letting go ceremony, which, as I mentioned, I've written the letter. I haven't done the actual letting go, which is the burning, and I just wanted to share this with you today. So firstly, I'm actually going to read the letter, which might be quite emotional. I haven't read it for some time, and then I'm going to let it go and I'm going to burn it. It's time to move on. I'm not afraid anymore. And that's the big thing with cancer, isn't it? It's the fear of death, the fear of the diagnosis, the fear of the treatment, the fear of the what ifs, and just all of it really, just all of it. And I'm not afraid anymore. I'm not afraid of any of it. I feel very grateful actually that cancer's been a really big gift to me, to actually show me there's a different way of doing things, that I can be grateful for the life that I've got, that I can decompress my nervous system, and that I don't need to live in constant stress. And that's another story and probably another video that I'll share with you, some of my stress stories, because I do think stress was a really big factor for me in terms of why I got cancer in the first place. But as I said, I'm going to read the letter to you, and then we're going to do the burning. So to Cancer, where do I start with talking to you about the last couple of years? It's not all been negative, but bloody hell, you have tested my resilience over and over. And I now want to share with you exactly what you have put myself and my family through. As you know, you arrived in April 2021. Well, that's when I found out that you had arrived. You arrived at a time in my life when I was actually feeling really hopeful. We had been through a year of lockdown and COVID, which during that time I'd also lost my mum. But in April 2021 we were due to open up again. My son, Sam, and his wife Sylvia were unexpectedly expecting their first child, and therefore were getting married. So much hope, so much excitement, and whack. It felt like one day I was well, the next I was poorly. And I wasn't in the UK, but in Mexico, 5 days before my son's wedding, which I was so excited about attending. But you took that away from me as well. You took hold of my body and made sure that I was stripped of my freedom and my joy, because there is nothing bloody joyful about you. The treatment is fucking harsh. Pouring poison into your body to fight to stay alive. The shock of the diagnosis. How ill I was feeling. I was meant to be back growing my business, but that was also taken away. So much loss. You create so much fear, not only for the present time, but for the future. Will it come back? And then on top of it all comes a diagnosis that I have a gene mutation. That means that my chances of getting breast cancer as well have massively increased. More fear. And not just for me, but now for my family. And the fears were justified, because having already lost my sister in 2010 to you, now I find out that my 2 nieces and my daughter also have the gene, which also increases their risk of you invading their lives. Fear, fear, and fear. And you strip them of their freedom and peace to live a normal life. The positive that did come out of being told that you were in my body was that we finally did find out that the BRCA gene was also part of me, and therefore my family were able to get their diagnosis and work out their own journeys. I felt like I took one for the team. I am a strong person, but the whole experience has floored me completely. Especially because I beat you into remission and you fucking came back. Why did you have to do that? Had I not been punished enough? What had I done that was so awful that I deserved this? Why couldn't you have just stayed away? But I've kicked your ass again and got you out of my body. I've nourished and I've nurtured my body, and I've given it the love and attention, and I'll continue to do that for the rest of my life. I don't want this letter to you to be all negative, because without you I might still be in burnout. When COVID did hit, I was completely burnt out and stressed. I'd actually fallen out of love with my business and I was struggling mentally. It was so easy to slip back into old patterns when it was cleared the first time. Maybe I needed the second time for me to have to change things so completely. So I did. I sold my business and decided it was time for new adventures. However, the loss of everything was also harder than I imagined. I fell into a deep depression. I felt that I'd lost everything: my purpose, my career, my freedom, and my peace. I didn't know what to do, what my future held. And that is what I'm getting my head around. I'm trying to look at my opportunities now. We plan on travelling, but I will need to go back to earning some money, and I don't really know now what I want to do. I've changed so much, and I feel for the better. I've done a life coaching course and also meditation and breathing, and I feel drawn to helping other people move on after cancer. But first I have to move on myself. And that starts with forgiveness. I forgive you for all the shit that you've put us through, because we are stronger for it. But now, please, can you stay away so we can peacefully live without the thought of you returning? This is time for new goals and new adventures. I'm really proud of the way that I've navigated this last couple of years, and it's time to move on. For me to live presently, peacefully, and in the now. Sarah. I honestly thought I might cry when I'm reading that to you, but actually it just shows how much further I have come on since I actually wrote that letter. I know now what my purpose and my future is, and that is helping others. In the meantime, we're going to burn this, because this is the moving on and moving forward without helping other people. Trying for the ash not to burn myself. In the wind, it's just taking it away. Let's light this corner as well. Let me just fold it in half. I love being out in nature, and this just felt like a perfect place for me to come and just do this. Although it doesn't actually want to burn at the moment. I've burnt some of it. I may have to finish this off when I'm not on the video with you. But thank you for listening to my letter. And I'm now so excited. I'm so excited about the opportunity of helping others. And it's about decompressing our nervous systems. It's about coming back and finding ourselves and being at peace and not lost in that fear and that overwhelm. Namaste.